Welcome to Active Sports TV. You're rocking out with your host, Active, as we go ahead and give you a recap to this highly anticipated fight card that just took place this weekend over on Riyadh season, man. D-Zone, you dig? Yeah, man. February 22nd, man. It was an explosive night of boxing, or should I say, day of boxing, being over here on the West Coast in America, man. That's the one thing we got to point out before getting into the episode. That's the only bad, bro. Look, I was not a fan of having to watch boxing in the morning, bro, during my work shift. I'm just gonna keep it all the way a buck. Fuck with everything Turkey Out Sheet got going right now, trying to bring boxing back in a major way, fully supporting them, giving the bag to the boxers, making sure the boxers out here getting well compensated, man, and they can start taking more risks. I'm all for that. But hey, Turk, you got to get these fights over here in America, bro. You got to get them on this side, man. You got to let them get on this soil because we got to have some boxing nights, man, the fight parties, man. We got to, you got to make sure that, we involved, bro. Like, we know Saudi, y'all got y'all thing going over there and all that. Shout out to y'all. Much respect. But if you want to capitalize on this thing, man, and you want to get the most eyes and you trying to draw the biggest audience, gotta bring it to America, man. Outside of that, no more, tearing this down or nothing like that. It was a fantastic event, well promoted. I must say, it's like a refreshing to see some promotion around here nowadays because we don't be seeing that over there with PBC and none of these fighters within the states no more anyway. So I can't knock them for that. It was great promotion, highly anticipated, leading towards this spot, these fights taking place. We had some other opponents on the fight card who went duck. You know what I mean? Let's get to the ducks of the segment of this episode. Yeah, we calling out names. Yeah, we got Floyd Schofield Jr., seeing the boogeyman, thought he seen a ghost. Them boys pulling out last minute. I did an episode on that. The original opponent for Shakur Stevenson, one of the headlining undercard bouts on this overall fight card. Highly anticipated. Already was a disappointment leading up towards it. Hours before this fight was supposed to take place, Floyd Schofield Jr. pulls out due to illness. Done an episode on that. Go over there, check that episode out so you can be in full detail on what allegedly took place in with that scenario. Now, being that Floyd is no longer Shakur Stevenson's opponent, they have to ramble, scramble, and try to do everything possible to find a last minute replacement for Shakur Stevenson, super analyst, who is now seeing if he's going to be on the fight card or not. Turkey work magic. They, with a team, work around the clock and happens to find Josh Padley's ranked, I believe, maybe, I know he's ranked 10th or 11th in the IBF, if I'm not mistaken. But not too familiar with him. Him coming to Riyadh, he has stated that he basically was a construction worker, electrician, working two jobs. You know what I mean? This man, is a blue collar worker, such as I. You know what I mean? But he got the opportunity of a lifetime, took fully advantage of it, jumped on a plane, got there in time, and that was the fight was on. That was Shakur next opponent. It was some back and forth during the weigh-in. Shakur in short, he was gonna whoop that ass, and we gotta go ahead and do the recap on that. So we start with Shakur Stevenson versus Josh Padley on this post fight breakdown, and the silver medal of this was going in here with a lot of pressure on him. I would say there was a lot of expectations following his last two bouts that really wasn't impressive. A lot of critics came out, me being one of them, critiquing, you know, his willingness to engage, him being more dominant, and just not relying on his defensive skills and his defensive pedigree, which he's a master at that. I mean, one of the best by far. And his overall skills, speed, and all of that. So um, going into this fight, we thought that Floyd Schofield was going to present some new challenges to Shakur. We might see a better performance out of Shakur, but Josh Padley stepped into the role and did quite decent on short notice. Was getting a few combinations in. Uh, Shakur Stevenson wasn't really hurting Josh Padley, from my opinion. This fight went a lot longer than I anticipated. Being that Josh Padley didn't have a camp short notice, I was expecting Shakur to get him out of here within 6. But Shakur was probably trying to get some rounds in, trying to display his skills. I was noticed during the fight, Shakur noticeably started pointing to his hand instead of talking to the crowd, saying that he may have re-injured his hand. This is becoming a common practice with Shakur Stevenson during his fights. We don't know, man, if his hands is that brutal, that injured. If he's fighting guys like Josh Padley and these guys and Artur and all those, these guys, and he's hurting his hand hitting these guys, what is he gonna do? How's those hands gonna hold up against elite top tier competition such as a Loma Chinko or a Javante Davis, even the up and coming fighters, the Andy Cruzes, and it would have been really really good to see Floyd Schofield in there, and if that was to occur with him in there, how would have dealt with that Sean Porter relentless coming forward type style that Floyd Schofield possesses. It would have been something similar to like with Javante Davis and Isaac Peck Bull when Javante hurt his hand fighting Isaac, and how things seemed to shift, and people started to give Isaac Cruz a lot more credit for not getting knocked out, but you seen how it was adversity that Javante had to get over, only being able to fight with one hand. So we've yet to see Shakur in there with an opponent that can take advantage of some error or some type of issue like that taking place with him. Like a Floyd Schofield, that would have been interesting to see if that would have occurred in the bout between them two, how Shakur would have bounced back, overcame that. And I'm still, those questions have to be answered going forward with Shakur Stevenson. Is those hands strong enough to, even, withstand him having a long career at this point? Because, like I said, 135, he hasn't fought the elite competition yet. Keyshawn just got a belt. They're not going to fight each other. But Javante Davis, you got to have something to keep him off of you. And if your hands is brutal and hurting yourself on jabs and on pity pat punches, then what are you going to do? You know what I mean? When you got to punch for real, though. You know what I mean? And if you end up breaking your hands, we seen with the issues Arturo Gotti had in his, career with his hands, Floyd with his hands. The hands is not to be played when you make a living with your hands. So you need to definitely take that serious. Maybe take some time off now. It was a stoppage. People were saying that Shakur needed a stoppage in order for him to stay in that, conversation and people desiring that fight between him and Javante Davis. But I'm gonna just keep it all the way above. I'm Team Crawford. but I'm a realist at the end of the day, and I'm a boxing fan first. And I'm gonna tell you like this: I'm more excited, and I will probably want to see Keyshawn Davis fight Javante Davis before Shakur Stevenson fight Javante Davis. I still think Shakur needs to step up in competition. I still think Shakur still needs to be tested. I think Keyshawn at this moment in time at 135 is fighting a better opposition and doing way better, having way better performances in what he's able to produce in his fights outside of Shakur Stevenson. I would like to see, what both of those fighters, Keyshawn and Shakur, do. Andy Cruz is right there for both of them. He's moving up the rankings in each sanctioning body. So, be on the lookout for that. With Floyd Schofield taking his move and doing what he did, it will be quite interesting to see what they're gonna do. Going back, because I don't think they can spin the block and try to get that Shakur work after what they just did with this fucking up this Riyadh card. Like, I don't know if even Turkey Al Sheikh will want to do business with them after that. So moving from that one, man, Shakur Stevenson get the stoppage over Josh Padley, man, 9th round knockout with a body punch, hurting his hand. Um, would not to know what he wants to do with going forward at 135. So we'll be following up. I will give you guys more details. Stay in tune, hit the subscribe button, hit the like. So when we do get in more information regarding Shakur and what his further plans is in the future at 135, you'll be notified on Active Sports TV. Moving on to one of the other most important headlining fights on the undercard, which will be Virgil Ortiz versus Israel Mondolov. This was a hell of a fight, just like everybody anticipated it was going to be. I, made my pick on this ahead of the time. I didn't do a pre-fight breakdown, but gave my opinion on the fight announcement and things of that nature. And I picked Israel Mondolov. I just thought that he had nice talent, what he was able to produce and showcase versus Terrence Crawford. I thought it would be some problems for Virgil Ortiz, being that he's just been inactive. His last performance, he got dropped twice. He didn't look great. But Virgil's a dog, man. Virgil Ortiz is a hell of a dog. It was a hell of a fight. Now, people getting hell of carried away. Let's pump our brakes here. Chill out. I know we got a lot of Virgil stands out there, a lot of delusional boxing fans that just didn't think Virgil can do it all. But look, let's check this out, man. Virgil Ortiz, he's not on that level yet. He don't want no Terrence Crawford work. We ain't even looking down at Virgil. Like, that ain't even nothing to be discussed. When Terrence Bud Crawford was at 147, Virgil Ortiz was the mandatory for that WBO. Oscar De La Hoya, and Virgil said no. They didn't want no problems with old Bud. So we not gonna act like, oh yeah, he's the guy. We going after Canelo and we gonna whoop Canelo ass, and that's how it's going. And you ain't about to try to throw no dude who ain't even fought Boots Ennis, you know what I mean, and barely got past his last opponent. You feel me? That and had a damn good fight against Israel Mondolov. Now I give Virgil the fight only by an edge because of Israel Mondolov doing the same thing that he did versus Terrence Bud Crawford. Unnecessary movement. And in that unnecessary movement, moving around the ring, he was not throwing more punches than Virgil. This is the exact same thing that Terrence Bud Crawford fans told everybody who was trying to gas Israel Mondolov up, saying that he gave Terrence Crawford this toughest fight, and just because he didn't go to sleep. Now, if you saying he was a tough opponent because he didn't get knocked out, yes, but saying it was a tough fight for Terrence, it was Come on, bro. That was easy work. 9-3 for Terrence. In this case, this fight was a lot closer, in my opinion. I would say 7-5. With Virgil Ortiz edging it out with just a higher output and landing more cleaner punches. But Israel Mandalov was quite effective. The jab, the overhand, the way that Virgil Ortiz face looked told a story. Like Israel Mandalov was getting through that high guard, punching that man face up, and he bruised easily, dude. He swelled easily. Him going forward, that's gonna be a problem. You seen he get dropped twice. Now you seeing that he's starting to have that tissue damage, that scar tissue damage. Listen, Virgil, he got great talent. He got all the skills in the world, but it could be him not taking advantage of his opportunities that's gonna limit him in his career. But love the overall fight. Think he worked the jab quite well. He put his combinations together, the punches and bunches. The uppercut was quite deadly. It was quite vicious. Never seen him really stumble or hurt Israel Mandalov, and I never seen Israel Mandalov hurt Virgil Ortiz either. But it was a lot of back and forth action, and it was just great display of boxing, man. But Virgil did, edge it out, just being, that bull man coming forward, not using too much movement and getting that Israel, making him uncomfortable and having more ring generalship, in my opinion. So if that goes the distance, Virgil Ortiz win and becomes victorious over Israel Mandalov and retains his interim title. Now, moving on, man, moving on to the heavyweights. Yeah, man, the big boys. This one here was a highly anticipated fight too. Also, with some disappointing news heading into this bout, as you know, prior to the fight taking place, it was announced that Daniel Dubois will be on this fight card fighting Joseph Parker. These guys was going to be putting themselves in the number one contender um, sweepstakes. You feel me? By fighting each other and knocking each other off, trying to make put themselves in position for the Usyk fight, possibly. Daniel Dubois, after Floyd Schofield Jr., Floyd Schofield Sr. Pulls out a Shakur Stevenson fight. Hours after that, we then get notification, we get news that Daniel Dubois is now ill as well, and he was now pulling out of the anticipated heavyweight bout, Joseph Parker and Daniel Dubois. So Turkey Al Sheik, DAZN, everybody get involved, do what they do. They find a last minute replacement in Martin Bakoli from the Congo, knockout artist. This man had a upsetting victory over the American Jared Anderson, upsetting him in Los Angeles on the Terrence Bud Crawford Israel Mandalov card. Yeah, um, putting everybody on notice. This man was a big puncher, but like I said in breaking the news in my episode, that we had to take everything into consideration. That this is not your average heavyweight bout where both fighters had the same amount of time in camp to get prepared and in shape and take advantage of their training camps. What Bacoli pretty much did was not let an opportunity pass him by, jumped on that plane, got to Saudi as fast as possible. You can see he was out of shape. See, he wasn't, prepared. He had an up and coming fight that he was going to be preparing for with Fa Majaba. In May. I believe that fight is still on. I'm still looking forward to seeing that. So don't know if he was just in the off season, just chilling, and they was like, "Hey man, this is a bag you can't refuse. You gotta get up in there." But nonetheless, Martin Bacoli comes in 307 pounds, which is already showing you that out of shape, that not the best Bacoli that you're gonna, see. Definitely not the same Bacoli you seen in LA. And with that being said, gets up in there with Joseph Parker, looks strong, throwing strong punches, taking solid punches in the first round. Joseph Parker, a hell of a resume. This guy resume is fantastic. Beating Zane, Bacoli, and Deontay Wilder. This dude is amazing, man. I gotta give him his flowers. I really wanted some get back too. I wanted Martin Bacoli to get some get back for that what's it called? Let me get this on here real quick. Want to get some get back for damn it, camera tripping. Oh well, we're gonna rock out like this. But want to get some big get back for Deontay Wilder, man. And it didn't work out. So Joseph Parker is the truth. I'm kind of disappointed. I would love to see the fight with Martin Bacoli with the full camp. But nonetheless, this is boxing. You step in the ring, you're 100%. You got knocked out within two. It was a crushing overhand, hitting Bacoli on the top of the temple, knocking his equilibrium off. Down he go, both feet went in the air. Timber Tower go falling, you dig? And that was all she wrote. Joseph Parker, let's keep everybody on notice that he is that dude. I believe he should be one of the top dudes considered to fight Alexander Usyk next. Alexander Usyk next, you dig? So moving on from those bout, we're gonna get to the main event. Then we're gonna wrap this whole post game, post fight episode up. Man, we get to the light heavyweights, man. This was the most anticipated fight on the card. You have light heavyweight Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. This was a back and forth bout once again. Basically a pick 'em on fight once again. You had to choose in between Artur's strong punches, catching Dmitry Bivol and showing more effective punches to more accumulating punches from Demetrius Bivol, more of a solid jab, control of pace, so on and so forth. And in this bout, I picked Artur Beterbiev, and him retaining his title. I believe he was going to find a way to knock Demetrius Bivol out. Find him for the second time, just being familiar with him, but it was the other way around here. Demetrius Bivol took what he downloaded from the first fight, and applied it in the second fight. Outboxed Artur Beterbiev slightly. I personally had to fight a draw. I would have had a draw 6-6. I didn't see much separation from any fighter, honestly. And then the most you can do is probably give 7-5 for Demetrius Bivol or 7-5 for Artur Beterbiev. My opinion. It's all on what you like. But I didn't feel that Demetrius Bivol took the titles from the champion, and I didn't feel like the champion did enough to retain his titles all outright either. But this does require a third fight. Not sure if we probably want to see it next, but being that Benaviv is so deep into his career, he's aging. You know what I mean? Him, Zane, they're touching their 40s, man. So it's like you want to take advantage. So if it doesn't happen now, then the likeliness of it happening is slim to none. Plus, when asked in the post-fight interview, Demetrius Bivol, after winning the titles, was he willing to fight the third fight, or was he looking to fight David Benavidez? His answer was he wanted to take some time, and heal up. He's been dealing with injuries. Basically, he wants to, enjoy some time being the undisputed light heavyweight champion, retaining his title that he lost, and then actually capturing what he set out to do when getting into this division. So it was a feel good thing for Demetrius Bivol. getting his revenge, getting his get back. Um, Only good things to come for Demetrius Bivol. Is he going to stay in the light heavyweight division, defend his title? Is he going to move up to the cruiserweight division? A lot of questions to be asked, but we here for it. So we're going to wrap this up, man. Hopefully you guys enjoy my quick post-fight reaction to the Riyadh season card. Some explosive fights. We also had a whole couple other fights on the other card that I didn't get to. Short for time right now. Gotta go handle some business, but wanted to get this out there to y'all, and we'll be following up on more boxing content. So if you enjoyed yourself, hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Till next time, we stay activated over here at all times. That's the motto. Stay dedicated to your craft and keep family first. We up out of here. Deuces.